Okay, so the first thing is information. Robinhood really prides itself on having an app that is very easy to use. In my argument, too easy to use. The fact of the matter is, trading is very difficult to do. You need to use a lot of information, have a lot of information at your fingertips, and hopefully very fast information. So if a tree falls in a wood 30 miles away, you would really like to be the first person to know. If you're the last person to know, odds are the people who did get to know that information first have already made the trading decision that you wanted to make as a result of having that information. So I do want to be a little bit more careful with talking about this, because in general, trading itself is not a sort of homogeneous activity. Making the kind of bet that the S&P 500 will go up sometime between you being 20 years old and your retirement age is a much less risky to bet, much less risky bet than, for example, betting that a derivative contract is going to be worth X amount in 2 weeks. So to say that retail traders are engaged in trading really isn't precise enough of sort of a description, because lots of people could make sort of safe investments, like investing in ETFs, for example, which are just sort of baskets of securities meant to represent some index overall, or perhaps a sector or industry, versus making really specific single name stock bets, or in my opinion, even worse, highly leveraged derivative bets. And these platforms make all of those things very easy to use. And that's something I have a big problem with. So if these things were very easy to use, but you were limited only to sort of buying and selling Toyota Camrys, you'd be better off in the end than this being really easy to use and it being really easy to buy and sell Formula One race cars. And I do also want to sort of single Robinhood out as particularly bad at this. There's a sort of plethora of ways that you can compare and contrast different brokerages, right? Those are avenues like Robinhood, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Fidelity. Robinhood consistently ranks as being the easiest to use and providing the least amount of information. And it's worth saying that the two really go hand in hand. If you have to make a decision on what to eat for lunch and you only have 2 options, right? Or one restaurant, right? You either eat lunch or you don't. That's a much easier, quicker decision to make, regardless of it's really a good decision or a food that you want to eat. Compare that to being in downtown New York City and having 82 different options for lunch. Well, that might be a harder decision to make, but you're more likely to get exactly what you want, right? If you have the option between Chicago style pizza, New York style pizza, thin crust, vegan, gluten-free, right? You're more likely to get just the pizza you want instead of having the option of going to Domino's or not. So Robinhood is really, really easy to use. And part and parcel of that, in my view, they have very little information. So, imagine someone using their phone down here, competing with someone having all of that information of the trader with 85 different screens above. It seems clear that the retail trader looking at this shiny app might be missing out on some key information that the the professional trader up at the top has. So even if they had, even if they both knew exactly how financial markets worked, how to make good trades, even if they had the exact same strategy, which was a good one, they would have different results because one just has more information.